This is the Rays POSTCAST, your instant game reaction to the Tampa Bay Rays, part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
Hello and welcome to yet another frustrated edition of the Tampa Bay Rays POSTCAST, your spot for instant Rays reaction after every single game. My name is Jonathan Shields. You can find me at Twitter at Johnny10Shields, a lot more active over there. We're going to talk about how, although Ryan Pepio got hammered a lot against the Astros, he still turned in a quality start. The Rays were just one hit away in so many instances in this game, and we're going to look ahead to tomorrow. But what has to start this episode is how awful the Rays were with runners in scoring position. And again, like always when the Rays lose, when they're in shambles, I'm in shambles.
This is what you'll be talking about.
For those listening on podcasts, I just hit the wrong button, but that's okay because the Rays could not hit the right buttons in this one with runners in scoring position. Rays go 1 for 10 with runners in scoring position after the Rays basically do the impossible and tie the game after they're down multiple runs at home, no less. They come up with 3 different scenarios where they have a runner in scoring position in the last 3 innings of the game and score a grand total of 0 runs. I mean, this was 2024 Rays to a T. It's just absolutely just mind-boggling. And this is where the 7th inning, I thought, the 9th inning was horrific. The 7th inning, I thought, was a turning point of this game.
Time to reveal where the game was won or lost. It's the turning point.
It's right after Houston retakes the lead. The Rays get to the bottom of the inning. First and second, no outs. And you have Walls come up, and he doesn't bunt, which honestly at the moment I wasn't even like the most upset about. Like, yes, he should have bunted. But like if you want to try, if you trust yourself to put it in play, go do it. That's why I have such a problem with him bunting in the 9th. You're telling me you trust yourself to put it in play and move the runners over in the 7th inning when you have no one on, but you don't trust yourself to put it in play, granted against a better pitcher in the 9th inning, and that's where you tried to decide to bunt. I cannot get over how awful that is. Aranda strikes out. If you're going to pinch hit Jonathan Aranda against a lefty, start him against a left-handed pitcher. It is as simple as that. I do not get that. Why is he not in the lineup if you're going to pinch hit him against a lefty? Curtis Mead, you want to play him against a lefty? That is fine. Find room for him. But Jonathan Aranda needs to be in this lineup. However you have to fill out the lineup to make it happen, make it happen. And then you get your best hitter up against the lefty, Yandy Diaz, and he hits a slow grounder to second on a broken bat, and he basically walks up the line. Would he have been out if he sprinted? Yes, but it's just pounds on to just an awful 7th inning. 8th inning, same thing. Get a runner second, nothing could do. And obviously, we talked about the 9th inning. The Rays catch a break, and the Rays should not have even been in this game. But sometimes in over 162-game season, you have to win games in games that you're not supposed to win. It happens. This was a time for the Rays to make it happen. And the Rays catch a break. Chandler Simpson, their best base runner, gets a catcher's interference. Josh Hader's whip is below 1. That means per inning, he allows less than 1 base runner per inning. And the Rays get a break. They get their best guy on there with nobody out. He's on second with less than 2 outs. He's on third with less than 2 outs. And it is appalling, and it is almost a crime that the Rays could not get him in. And it's just incredibly frustrating from against a team where, they pitch probably the worst pitcher, even though it's a lefty at home. I mean, I don't know what else you expect. I'm honestly happy with the fight that the Rays showed. A lot of times when they see him get down like this, they almost like they turn it in, but they were able to turn around and tie the game. Big hit by Danny Jansen. Finally, the Rays utilize a short porch, and then literally 2 innings later, the Rays get short porched right back. So it's almost just like a slap in the face. It's like, oh, you can almost have nice things, and it's like, never mind. So again, there are positives to take out of this game, but man, when you're 5 games under 500, and this is a game where you're not supposed to win, but you have a chance to tie it at the end. Just a game that I think it's almost it hurts even more than it doesn't hurt as much as the Phillies loss or one of those other losses. But man, I mean, it is a punch in the gut when you have a chance to steal one, and the Rays can't do it. I mean, look, I talked about it yesterday how brutal this homestand is going to be. Like there are 3 really good teams coming in here, and you got to find a way to go 5-4. You got to find a way to go 6-3 during this homestand. And you got to find a way just to tread water, get to 2 games under, get to 2 games over, get to 500 before your guys come back. And then, look, don't get me started on Ben Rorfet. Like I saw Evan Klosky tweet that it would have been higher percentage for Chandler Simpson steal home, it would have been a higher percentage to bring someone off the bench and then have a position player play catcher than Ben Warford in that situation. He's hitting .93 now or whatever it is. Just horrific. But if you guys are in the live, make sure you leave a comment. We will get to them at the end, at the end of the live, like we always do. Quickly on this lineup against lefties. Look, I already had my gripe with it. Jonathan Ron needs to be in this lineup. I would just play your normal lineup against lefties. A few episodes, people asked, why isn't Christopher on the lineup? Even though he had made some great plays in left field tonight, he can't hit. And if he can't hit a soft hitting lefty that tops out at 93, then he's not going to hit name pitcher here. So, and then I have a huge gripe with him hitting third. You play him in one game in the last week, and boom, he's hitting third in a big game, where you're trying to turn your season around. So don't love that. In this lineup today, the Rays had no one hitting above 260. This was going into the game. I don't know what it is now. No one hitting above 260. 3 players below 200, and 5 players hitting below 245. That is just not a recipe for success. We should be happy that the Rays scored 4 runs. But again, if you joined live, leave a like and comment in the live chat. If you're watching the replay, also leave a like and comment. So again, there are some positives to take away from this. I thought how Ryan Pepio bounced back in this one was pretty admirable. And the Rays, I mean, getting back, the sequence of doubles from Yandy and Cabby to tie the game. But again, you got another runner on second, less than 2 outs, you can't bring him in. So again, I thought the Rays did produce some better at bats the longer the game went along. But man, I mean, when you need a shutdown inning from Rodriguez, who's been one of your better arms, recently, it is tough that he should have given up more runs. And it goes to the fact that like the right team won tonight, but it makes it even worse where you have a chance to steal one at home, in a place where you struggled, and getting a game like this is just such a momentum shift, and you just couldn't do it, and it's tough. But we'll talk about Ryan Pepio, more about the pitching and more about the devastation of this loss, and we'll look ahead right after this. This episode is brought to you by Wonderful Pistachios. Looking for a snack that's both nutritious and delicious? That is Wonderful Pistachios. You crack into a good source of protein with Wonderful Pistachios. Wonderful Pistachios is one of the highest protein nuts. Each 1 ounce serving has 6 grams of protein, giving you over 10% of your daily value. Plus, they're packed with fiber and better for you unsaturated fats to help you keep feeling fuller longer. I love the traditional shell variety. I love hearing the crack of the shell. And I love, they're just so easy to eat, whether you're on the go, working out, whatever you got to do. And there's also the no shell variety if you don't love that classic flavor. Get snacking to get cracking with a snack that packs a protein punch. Visit wonderfulpistachios.com to learn more. This episode is also brought to you by FanDuel. The NBA playoffs are in full swing. Every night delivers highlight-worthy performances, major momentum shifts, and can't-miss moments. Whether it's a game-winning shot or a breakout player, there's never been a better time to get on the action. FanDuel makes it easy to stay in the game. Before tip-off and live, with player props, performance trends, and same-game parlays, fans have more ways than ever to play smart and win big. You guys know my favorite are the same-game parlays. You can do different player props in there. Game 1 of the West Finals tomorrow, Thunder versus Timberwolves. If you think Ant's going to go crazy, go for 30+. You can bet that. So that is my go-to. And if you're new to FanDuel, it's the perfect time to sign up. Head to FanDuel.com and place your first $5 bet. If it wins, you'll get over $200 in bonus bets. Make every moment more with FanDuel, official sports betting partner of the NBA. So we have a few more people in here than we did at the beginning, so I'll just quickly reiterate what I said at the beginning. Just incredibly frustrating that the Rays go 1 for 10 with runners in scoring position. It's ironic that Taylor Walls bunts in the 9th and not in the 7th. If you trust, I don't even have a problem with him not bunting in the 7th, but you trust yourself in the 7th to be able to put the ball in play and move the runners, but you don't trust yourself in the 9th to do it. I don't know. It was probably a call from the bench to do like a suicide squeeze, and with Simpson on 3rd, I get it, but it's just so tough. And again, I think it would have been better. Evan Klosky said it would have been better for Simpson to steal home instead of Warford hit. It would have been better to have pinch hit Warford there. I don't know who they even had left on the bench if they had anyone left. Let's see. Josh Lowe played. Aranda played. Obviously Ben played. They might have had, I don't know. I'm not going to remember this off the top of my head, but if they did have someone there, it's better than playing Warford, who's like literally the worst qualified hitter in baseball, and then have a position player play catcher. I mean, literally, I don't know what to say about that. But yeah, I mean, the Rays should not have been in this game, but when you have an opportunity to steal one like the Rays did, makes it even worse. So let's talk about Ryan Pepiot. He still turned in a quality start. Went 6 innings, 3 or less runs. So 3 or less runs. So that's a quality start from Ryan Pepiot. And he lots of hard contact early. I mean, the Astros were hitting them around. I literally made a bullet point. It's like the Astros lineup got hit so effortlessly. And at the beginning of the game, it was literally like pulling teeth for the Rays to get on base and get hits. I think they were retired like 12 in a row, 13 in a row at one point. So yeah, so I still thought Ryan Pepiot was good, but yeah, I mean, one of the turning points of the game was you go to your bullpen, your shutdown bullpen, supposed to be the strength of this team. And Rodriguez should have given up more than run. It was one. It was lucky he only gave up one, but that was such a backbreaker after you tie the game to just come and only give up one. But let's look ahead to the game tomorrow. The Rays, probably another lefty, so it was still to be undecided who the Astros are going to pitch. Zach Littell is going for the Rays. It's been really good in his last few games. Let's look at Ryan Pepiot's game log. He has given up 3 runs or fewer his last 5-6 starts. So Pepiot has been good too, but Zach Littell has been really good so far. So let's hope he continues that. He's going to be in the zone. We know what Littell is going to do. He's going to be in the zone. He's going to do what he does best. But the Astros did call up a lefty off the taxi squad, so I don't know why you wouldn't pitch a lefty in this situation against the Rays, which how bad they've been against lefties. But we're about to get to the comments, so if you guys are in the comments, make sure that you leave one. I see people commenting about Chandler Simpson. Yeah, I mean, he's always a bright spot. He's awesome. He's so electric. And another guy like Meisner needs a day off. I mean, he cannot hit lefties for the life of him. So let's go to Alexander. He says, I think I'm done watching this team until they show a sign of not being just a repeat of 2024. Don't be done watching this team. It's a tough sequence, but one of the best part about baseball is that you get to watch your favorite team every day. And the Rays still have 120 some odd games left. I mean, they could rattle off 6 in a row and be right back in this thing. You got to think positive that they got a lot of really positive news about key contributors to the lineup being back and being able to contribute in this lineup once again. So, they could get guys back by the next road trip. So Magnum and Kim are both hopefully going to start rehab assignments this week, which would be fantastic. So we will go to Arginus, who says it was a tight one. Those catches by Moreau were insane. Yeah, he doesn't have it at the plate, but man, he has played a pretty good left field, all things considering. Michael goes, my friend, I did not know you managed to host these daily shows with how frustrating this team is. At one point, does the club release Rortvet? It's pretty easy to host these daily shows. I love interacting with you guys. I love watching the Rays and talking the Rays. But yeah, Rortvet is rough, man. I mean, it's tough to watch him, and maybe some overreaction to say, look, the Rays need to pinch hit him and play a position player there. But man, I mean, once Walls gets hit, he's hitting 0.9. No, it's not an overreaction because he's literally hitting under 100. Look, hitting a baseball is the hardest thing to do in sports, but he's literally paid a lot of money to hit a baseball, and he's not that good behind the plate either. So the Rays, I mean, actively need to be looking for a backup catcher. And the fact that he was our number 1 catcher last year shows just how bad it was. So yeah, if we go to I Love Legos, he said very frustrating, upsetting watch. Yeah, but again, the Rays expected win value. They're supposed to get crushed this game, but like I said, you have a chance to steal one. And yeah, to go to Gary, says, I feel the opposite. Jonathan would rather have Walls Bundy in the 7th instead of the 9th. No, I agree. I would rather have him bunt in the 7th too, but I'm saying if you're going to have the confidence to not bunt and trust yourself to put the ball in play in the 7th, I'm just shocked that he wouldn't also have that same confidence in the 9th. But again, it could have been a call from the bench to have him do, like I said, like a suicide squeeze, which is basically the guy steals from third, you bunt, and you get home the run. But again, I would have loved to just see him hit there because Walls is almost always going to give you a good at bat. I mean, he's not going to hit it hard. He's not going to hit home runs, but he's most of the time going to give you a good at bat. So yeah, just tough. As go back to I Love Legos. I actually feel jealous that Paredes is on the Astros. I wish we had kept him. Yeah, the Paredes trade is going to be really interesting for me because I think the Rays sold high on Paredes. Like, I don't know what his absolute ceiling was. Like, obviously he was an all-star, but he was really bad at the end of last year. Obviously, you got the Crawford boxes in Houston. Going to help him out a great deal as he's a pull hitter, but yeah, I mean, he would have been great to have batting 2nd or 3rd in the lineup today instead of Christopher Morel, who he was traded for. So I will agree with you on that as we go. As Argina says, Astros just announced their starting pitcher tomorrow, Brandon Walter. I believe that is the lefty that they brought up. I can check their roster real quick, but like I said, they literally brought up a lefty from the taxi squad just because of how bad the Rays are against lefties. And if I'm the Rays, like, I don't play Christopher Morel tomorrow. Like, I am literally running out your best hitters, and you go and sees what happens. So yeah, I just, what are you going to do, Sergeant? If you can confirm that if he's a lefty for me, that would be a great help. I think that was the name I saw that they brought up off the taxi squad that they had. So yeah, so I don't again, smart by the Astros, or smart organization. They're going to pitch a lefty versus a team that's the worst team in baseball against lefties. So again, just Cabby. The one thing I did like is Cabby hitting second. Maybe second might be. I might try hitting him leadoff. I mean, he seems like more of a leadoff hitter than a two-hole guy. But again, he just continues to get good at bats, and he had one of the RBIs in this one. But yeah, I mean, like, Josh Lowe should be in the lineup tomorrow. Jonathan Aranda should be in the lineup tomorrow, and Chandler Simpson should be in the lineup tomorrow. And then if you don't want to start Brandon Lau and start Chandler Mead, I don't blame you. Bring Brandon Lau in late off the bench, but like, I would still go with your best guys against lefties, because what have these other guys shown right now? As we go back to I Love Legos, do you think Bilal would get moved at the trade deadline? I don't know. I hope not, because if they do, that means the Rays are selling. So I hope the Rays can show enough to this front office to believe in them going forward. And I think Bilal's value is at an all-time low, considering that this is the last year of his contract. He would just be a rental. As our genius does confirm, he's a lefty. So yeah, is who I thought. But his value's at all-time low. He has no control after this year. So yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see what the Rays are gonna do. But I'm more eager to see what the Rays are gonna do tomorrow. Around 3 o'clock, it's going to be really interesting to see how the Rays lineup shakes out when that lineup comes out. Because again, I'm playing my best guys. I'd guess they're analytical. I get that. I know Josh Lowe has not been great against lefties in his career, but man, I mean, even the out he had today was laced, and someone just happened to be there. So very, it's do you still want to, again, as a manager, your job is to put your guys in the best situation to succeed. Shout out to Curtis Mead for getting a hit tonight. I've not seen live pitching in over a week. And Christopher Morel hitting third after only starting one game, which was the game before, is just, I mean, I don't know what else. As Nug Nasty said, Lau has a club option for next year. Thank you for that. I thought we extended that this year, but I'm not going to act like I'm an expert on the Rays, contract situation. So maybe that does make him more appealing to trade for, but hopefully we don't get to that spot. Hopefully the Rays are in a position where they're not contending, not like best record in MLB. Obviously, that's far stretch from now, but more in a spot where they're like 4 games out of the wild card. And going into this game, the Rays were like 4 games out of the wild card. So I know it's a frustrating loss, especially the way that ended, but it is not the end of the world. There is still so much season left, as I Love Lego says. Magnum is rehabbing tomorrow, so yeah, hopefully we get it back for the Twins series. I mean, that would just be huge, just more depth in that lineup. So, and then another guy that can hit lefties, is a switch hitter. So you don't have to start a Cameron Meisner, who is, I mean, he's having a tough go of it right now. And when I saw him in the lineup today, I knew that one, Chandler must not been ready from his dust up in Miami, and 2, that, man, I mean, it's rough when you can't deploy your whole lineup. But here comes this lineup kind of slowly coming along. But at the end of the day, the starting pitching needs to take the step up to elite, like it can be, if this team is going to be where it needs to be, because this pitching staff is too talented, and they only give 4 runs. Like, yes, that's fine, but it should have been more. And this pitching staff is right here. So if you're listening to podcasts, they're about like a 5 right now. They can get to a 10. They're like a 5-6 right now. They can get to a 9-10 and be a dominant rotation, a dominant group for this Rays team. But yeah, we will see, kind of what happens tomorrow. But like, the good thing about baseball, like I said, so Alexander said, I don't know if you're still live, I'm done watching this team. Like, don't be done watching this team. Like, they keep supporting this team. Get out to Steinbrenner if you can. Get out and see this team, because they could win 8 in a row like it was nothing. We saw the Twins win 13 in a row when they were 5 games under. So look, there's so much season left. There is so many guys that can still come back and impact this team in a positive way. So and the best part about all that is we get to watch them play tomorrow. So I appreciate everyone joining live. Pretty big audience in here tonight. I appreciate everyone's been here tonight. We saw a few first-time commenters. So, Michael Townley was a first-time commenter, and Nug Nasty, even though he just said the thing about Brandon Lau, was the first time. We had USF Pewter Bodega, first-time commenter. So, I always like to shout the first-time commenters. So, yeah, this is what we like to see. Keep joining us. We'll be in here same time tomorrow, hopefully after a Rays win. So if you guys made it all the way to the end, make sure you leave a like and comment, and I will see you guys tomorrow night.